Hello Stampers! I've got a pretty little card for you today, and I'm going to be using a couple new products. Now the first thing we're going to use is we're going to use a die cut to cut on the top of our main panel here. I have it already done. I use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'll put my hand behind it so you can see it. And I use these new exclusive dies from Stampin' Up. This is the Elegant Borders die set. And inside you're going to find 4 amazing dies to put along the edges of your cards, whether it be at the top, the sides. I mean, they're plenty long to go across a large card. So pick those up. I'm going to have a link to them down below, and you can just click on those links and it'll take you directly to my online store where you can pick those up. Now I went ahead and cut that out. Like I said, this panel is 3 3/4 by 5, and I just laid it all right along the top, used the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and that is all done. So next I just want to put some color in the background. I'm going to be using a Smoky Slate ink pad here, and we're just going to do a little directed paper just to get a little color in the background for our stone wall that we have back here. I decided to do this big brick wall back here. I just think it's for a fancy building like a museum or something, that you might see these big stones on the building. So I'm going to just do this direct to paper, and I'm going to have my ink pad at an angle. You want to make sure you do that, because the flatter you get, the more it's going to stick to your cardstock, and you're going to have big dark areas. So I'm just going to lightly come across here. And you're going to get light and dark areas. Now if you see you're not getting enough, add a little pressure. Now you can go over and over and over this area just to get things covered. And I'm going to go down to the bottom, so I'm going to switch my cardstock around and come this other direction. Got some schmutz there. That's okay. So that's plenty. That's all I wanted, was just some color in the background. Now if you see you don't have enough up here, you can always use the corner of your ink pad and add some up there at the top. Now you may want to ink that edge before you start, and that'll make it a little easier to get some color on your paper. Now I have that done, and now I just want to put that wall in. Now this is super simple. We're just going to use a ruler here, and we're just going to add some lines. And I'm going to be using the fine point of a light Smoky Slate Stampin' Blend for this. I'm staying with that Smoky Slate color. Just put a line across there, move your ruler down a little bit. I'm going to say this is like 3/3 of an inch. I mean 3/4 of an inch. I don't worry if I'm a little out of whack. I'm not really measuring the width between. This is just a guesstimate. And I think that's it. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and then I'm going to go this direction. And I'm going to start at the top here, just under that die cut, and I'm going to make a line from the die cut to that first line. Then I'll skip in between this one and do the next one, and then I skip that last one. Okay, so you got 2 lines there. I'm going to move over just a bit here. And what I'm going to do here is those lines that I skipped over, those are the lines I'm going to make a line on. And then I'm just going to do it one more time here. So the top of the area, I'm going to do what I did right here at the beginning, and the second one. And there's your big brick wall. It took nothing to do. It's just super simple. Okay, so now we got our wall in for our bicycle. And now I'm just going to take that Smoky Slate ink pad, and I'm going to hold it more flatter. And I just want to put an area for that bicycle to be sitting in. If you get really flat with your ink pad, you're going to get a nice solid line, and that's what we want. That's going to be our road or sidewalk or whatever you want to call it that our bike is going to be on. I have some little dots here. I am not worried about that. That just kind of looks like it's part of that building. It's no problem. Okay, we're going to change colors here. And I'm going to go to Tuxedo Black from Memento. And I want to make sure this is well inked for this stamped image. I love this bicycle, and it comes out of the Fun for Wheels. I'll show you that. Let me stamp this so my ink doesn't get dry. And I'm just going to hold that down for just a few seconds just to get a nice image of it. And there it is. So there's our bike done. And that bicycle come out of one of our nice sets out of the annual catalog for Stampin' Up. This is Fun on Wheels. Has all these great wheel things that you can stamp. I love this skateboard, and then this here for like kid cards. And even the bicycle you could use for kid cards. They're hard to come up with, especially those preteens and teenagers. And what's fun about this, I didn't use the die set today for that, but it has a die set that can go with it. You can bundle it up and save 10% on that. But it cuts the bicycles and these other images out. So that's where the bicycle come from. And isn't that cute on there? So now we just need a sign. And I just cut a little piece of cardstock here. This is Smoky Slate, and this is 1 by 2. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment on it. And the sentiment, of course, I went to my go-to greeting stamp set. This has been my favorite greeting set, especially if I want to do something that looks elegant. I thought about doing these bigger images, but today I decided just to make a sign, so I went to the smaller one. But you could do thank you, thinking of you, happy birthday, whatever on your little sign that you have. So I'm going to use that same Tuxedo Black ink. I want this nice and dark here. So I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. There we go. And there is our little sign. And then I'm going to take a basic black Stampin' Blend marker, and I'm going to, this is the dark, and I'm using the fine tip here. And I'm going to just put some dots, one in each corner, put one in the middle, and then I'm going to put one in the middle of those. So that's for the top of our little sign there. Those could be considered nail holes or whatever. And then I have a little strip of black cardstock here. And this basic black is a 1/4 inch by 2 3/4. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the top of my little sign here. And then I'm going to add it to this strip. And I want a little bit of that strip to show above it, and then center it up. That's what I like about glue. You get a chance to like move things around to where you want it. So there is our sign. And then I'm just going to glue this on. You can see the side where I messed up there. Had to use the other side. Isn't that nice that we have 2 sides to every piece of cardstock? So now I'm just going to add this to my scene here. And I'm going to put it, like 1/8 of an inch from the top where that die cut starts there. You can move it around where you like it. There we go. So there's our sign. And guess what? That is our finished main image panel. And now we just have our other panels that I'm going to show you. All the panels for this are down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see all the sizes for the panels and the colors. And also I have all the links for the products that I used today. So I have a main card base here, and it's Smoky Slate, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half to create my quarter card. I cut 2 of these basic gray panels that are 4 by 5.25. I put one on the front and one on the inside. And then my second basic white panel, I cut 2, one to use for my main panel, one for inside, and they are 3.25 by 5. So you can write whatever you want or stamp whatever you want in here. Now this is all ready to go on the front, and I'm just going to glue this on. We'll add a little love in here. Now for this top part, I just attach it just lightly in a couple places. Just enough so it doesn't flop around. Then we'll just center it up here. I love that I love that die cut at the top. It really makes it fancy, doesn't it? So there, our card is all finished. Here's my original. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Bye.